Hi everyone! In this array demo tutorial, I'm going to show you a few basic features of the Java language involving a class, static methods, and arrays. This demo assumes that you've watched the Getting Started with IntelliJ IDEA and known already how to create and run a Java application using this IDE. An integrated development environment is not required to write Java code. You could use a text editor and JDK or Java Development Kit to write, compile, and run Java code. However, an IDE provides useful and powerful features to help you develop and maintain software projects. When you create a new project, you'll have options on which JDK you want to use. There is an option to download JDK as well. This feature is useful when a new JDK is released, which is about one every 6 months. JDK stands for Java Development Kit and contains all resources to develop Java programs. It includes the Java runtime environment, Java compiler, and the loader for Java applications. In these examples, I'm using the latest version of JDK available to date, which is OpenJDK 14. Instead of using a template, I'll write the application from scratch. Since this application is about arrays, I'm going to name the project Array Demo. When you create a project, all files associated with this project are stored in a folder, in this case named Array Demo. Within this folder, there is a folder called src or source, which contains the source code. To create Java applications, we need to create a class with a main method. We can do this by right-clicking the source folder and choose New Java Class. In general, it's a good idea to put our Java class in a specific package. We can create a package first or specify the package name when we type the class name for our Java code. It's common to use a reverse Internet domain name for package names to guarantee their uniqueness. For these examples, I'm going to put the ArrayDemo class into a package ca.maceven.cmpt305. Following the Java naming conventions, I capitalize each word in the class name. A package is essentially a folder used for organizing our code. So within the source folder, you'll find subfolders ca, maceven, and cmpt305. Inside the cmpt305 folder, the source code for the ArrayDemo class is stored. The file name is arraydemo.java. The file name of a Java class must match the class name, including capitalization, because Java is a case-sensitive programming language. If you use an IDE, you should not worry about this naming because your IDE should name your files correctly. A Java application must have a main method, which is the starting point of the program. In Java, this method must be declared as public static void main string arguments. You can type this yourself or use one of the templates available in IntelliJ IDEA. To save typing, you can simply type main, choose the right option from the suggestion box, and press return or tab for autocomplete. To demonstrate the basic features of Java, I'm going to implement another static method called lastIndexOf that takes an array of integers and an integer value, and that returns the last index of the given value in the array, or -1 if the value is not found in the array. The public keyword indicates that the method is accessible publicly. It means that any other classes will be able to call this method. Static means that the method belongs to a class instead of an object. The int is the return type, and lastIndexOf is the method name. A method name, as well as a variable name, should start with a lowercase. If the name consists of multiple words, the internal words should be capitalized. Unlike Python, which you learn in your first year courses, Java is a strongly typed language, so you must specify the type of each variable you use. In this case, we specify that numbers is an array of integers and that target is an integer. The method should return -1 if target is not found in numbers. To implement this method, I'll start by declaring and initializing a variable index with -1 and return its value at the end of the method. To find the last index of target, we need to go through each element in the array. We can do so from the start or the end of the array. Since we want to find the last index, let's use a for loop to iterate through the array from the back. An array in Java has an attribute length, which indicates the number of elements in it. Like other programming languages, Java uses a zero-based index where the first element of an array is at a position or index 0, and the last element has an index length -1. To check every item in numbers, we need to start from index length -1, decrease the value of the variable I by 1 in each iteration until I reaches 0. If we find the target, we return its index immediately. If the for loop is done and the method has not returned any value, the target value doesn't exist in the array, so we return -1. After defining the last index method, we can go back to the main function and add the method body. We declare an array of integers and put some numbers in it. And then we call the last index of method and print the return value to the standard output using a system out println statement. To run the applications, we need to configure the project by clicking Add Configuration button, pressing the plus button, choosing Applications, and specifying the main class of this project. In this example, we only have a single class, so we simply select the only available options. After this, we can run our program by clicking the Run button. It's always a good idea to test our code thoroughly, so I'm going to call the method with different targets. You can see in the console that the method behaves as expected. Later on, you learn how to automate such tests so that you don't have to do them manually. In summary, this demo shows you how to create a class, static methods, and arrays using Java. I firmly believe that the most effective way to learn programming is by doing, so I highly recommend that you not only watch this video, but you should also try to recreate this example and make sure that you understand its statement.